We're gonna build a wide chest, right? If that's your quest and your desire, 3 things. Decline presses, full range of motion. And if you don't have the flexibility, develop the flexibility. It's gonna make a difference. And then a flat or a peg deck would be awesome because you can get a full range of motion and squeeze all the way through. Or a machine such as this one. Again, I can start here, and this is gonna work my chest. It's gonna work my chest. But the more I take this range of motion back, the fuller I'm gonna build my chest. So you wanna make sure you take it back as far as your range of motion will allow you to. Make sure you don't injure yourself by taking it back too far and then tearing the muscle because you're strong from here to here, and you put the same amount of weight back here, that's gonna cause you some problems. I never use a bench press, but I will use a chest press, partly because there's not a continual bar that stops me from the range of motion. Now what happens here is this allows me to go deeper past my chest, but a bar stops. This also has a range of motion where it starts to come in at the top of the repetition, so it gives you a little more range. In building a wide chest, it has everything to do with flexibility and getting a full range of motion. The way this is set up right now, it's got a fairly short range of motion. But you know what? See how the hands come in and it goes wider and they come in? Well, the thing is, it stops right here. The resistance stops right here. So I'm not getting a full range of motion. Now, in order for me to build my chest wider, what's going to help me is if my hands can go back a little bit further to stretch that muscle. Because if I build my chest from here to here, if I'm getting stronger from here to here, the muscle is growing from here to here. So what I want to do is widen and thicken the chest on the outside. If I keep everything here, everything is going to grow here. But I want to broaden, widen, and thicken. So it has everything to do with range of motion. It also has to do with my my form. If I allow my shoulders to roll forward, like this, even though the resistance can go back further, I'm still moving away from working my chest. This doesn't necessarily work my chest the last 20 degrees. But if I open my chest, then it's working my chest. Now, I have clients that I work with, this is, for them, a full range of motion. And so they're limited in their range of motion. They really need to become more flexible. So I teach them how to stretch. Flexibility is another thing that you can increase your flexibility just by stretching. Watch this. You see where the resistance goes? Now I can take the resistance and I can go back a little bit further. So I'm getting a fuller stretch. So I'm building that muscle with a fuller range of motion now. It's a longer, fuller range of motion. But watch this. I can take it back even more. So I've got an even fuller range of motion. Some people, they cannot get in this machine because their shoulder joint won't allow them to. But if you can, that is a complete range of motion. Now if I roll my shoulders forward like this, I'm moving away from working my chest, and you'll notice my traps, everything else is involved, my back, everything is involved as I'm doing this, and it's going against the joint. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get the chest open as wide as I can. And it's the same way with the dumbbells. I'm pulling the dumbbells down, I'm not letting the dumbbells stop here, but I'm expanding and I'm contracting all the way through. And I'm concentrating, putting the mind in the muscle to force that muscle to give me that contraction that I want. so I can thicken the chest on the outside. So it builds a lip right there on the outside. And that's through getting a full range of motion. So be careful, be safe, become more flexible, build that range of motion, build the strength in that range of motion, widen and thicken your chest by doing your exercises just the way I told you to. God bless you until next time.
What you want?